After spending only $233 billion, I bought McDonald's. And the first thing I'm going to do is stop pretending it's a burger company. Because here's the thing that most people watching this video don't know. And McDonald's own marketing team actively tries to make you forget. McDonald's is not a restaurant. It is one of the largest real estate empires on the planet. The burgers, the fries, the McFlurry machine that's always broken, that is not the business. It's a cover story and a brilliant way to earn extra money. And now that I own it, I'm going to tear up everything the current management is doing, fix the 3 things that are actively destroying this company right now, and turn it into the most profitable business in the history of fast food. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I would run McDonald's, as a billionaire with a bright mind. Let's get to work. Before I tell you what I'd change, you need to understand what McDonald's actually is. McDonald's has over 45,300 locations across 100+ countries. Approximately 95% of those restaurants are run by franchisees, independent operators who pay McDonald's to use the brand, the systems, and the recipes. And you know the interesting thing? McDonald's doesn't just charge franchisees a royalty fee of 4 to 5% of sales. McDonald's owns or has long-term leases on the real estate underneath approximately 55% of its franchise locations, which means McDonald's collects rent and royalties from the same franchisee. You pay me to use my brand, and you pay me to stand on my land. Former McDonald's CFO Harry Sonneborn said it himself decades ago, and I'm going to quote him directly. "We are not technically in the food business. We are in the real estate business. The only reason we sell hamburgers is because they are the greatest producer of revenue from which our tenants can pay us rent." That was the man who built the financial architecture of McDonald's. And he wasn't talking about burgers. McDonald's FY 2025 revenue was $26.89 billion. Operating margin is around 46.1% with a free cash flow of $7.19 billion. That is not a fast food company's financial profile. That is a landlord's financial profile. And understanding this changes everything about how you run the business. Now let's talk about the mess I've inherited. Because McDonald's in 2026 is a company in genuine trouble, and the current management either doesn't see it clearly or doesn't have the courage to fix it. Problem 1, the price catastrophe. Over the past 5 years, McDonald's average menu prices have increased by approximately 40%. The entire brand identity of McDonald's, built over 70 years, is affordable, consistent, and fast food. The place you go when you don't want to spend much. It's a backup plan, the reliable option. And they raise prices 40%. U.S. comparable store sales dropped 3.6% in the first quarter of 2025, McDonald's worst performance since the depths of the pandemic. 1 in 3 Americans is now visiting McDonald's less often. Too expensive was the most common complaint, with many saying they get better value elsewhere. Nearly half of Americans now say fast food costs about the same as their local sit-down restaurant. When people are comparing your $10 combo meal to a sit-down restaurant, then you should understand that you messed up. Problem 2. The menu is a disaster. McDonald's currently has one of the longest menus in its history. Dozens upon dozens of items, regional variations, limited time offers are cycling constantly, seasonal specials, new chicken variations, McValue menus, blah blah. Every item on that menu is a cost. Every item requires training, ingredients, storage, and equipment, and most of them are mediocre versions of things competitors do better. Problem 3, the identity crisis. From 2020 to 2026, McDonald's reputation shifted from the cheapest option to a brand struggling with value perception. They raised prices like a premium brand, but kept the infrastructure, ambiance, and product quality of a budget chain. They are stuck between 2 identities, and in business, being stuck between 2 identities is the fastest way to lose both. The CEO himself admitted on the first quarter 2026 earnings call that consumer sentiment is certainly not improving, and it may be getting a little bit worse. That is a $233 billion company's CEO admitting they don't know how to fix it. But good for them, because I do. Day 1. My first decision. I am cutting the menu by 40%. They are nothing but baggage. We are keeping the things that made McDonald's famous. The Big Mac, the Quarter Pounder, the McNuggets, the fries, which are genuinely the best fries in fast food and don't need changing. The McFlurry, the Filet-O-Fish for the people who inexplicably love it. Breakfast, coffee, everything else is under review. And most of it is going. And this is why it will work financially. Every item you remove from the menu reduces ingredient complexity and waste. Training time for staff, kitchen equipment requirements, food prep errors, wait times. A shorter menu means faster service. Faster service means more throughput. More throughput means more revenue per location, without opening a single new restaurant. In-N-Out Burger has a menu so simple you can count the items on one hand. Their customer satisfaction scores consistently beat McDonald's. Their operational efficiency is legendary. Their lines are long because people choose to wait. McDonald's used to be that simple. It can be again. And here's what a shorter menu does for the brand. When you order a Big Mac, you get a Big Mac. Every time, in every country. That consistency is the single most valuable asset McDonald's owns. And a bloated menu destroys consistency. The menu purge is not a cost-cutting exercise. It's my way of protecting what made us famous. Second decision. I am rolling back prices on the core menu items by 15%. Not across everything, not in every location, but on the Big Mac, the McNuggets, the fries, and the core combo meals. The things that define what McDonald's is. The price is coming down. And I know exactly what you're thinking. That will destroy the margins. McDonald's fundamental problem right now is not profitability. The operating margin is already 46%. The problem is traffic, footfall, the number of people walking through the door. Customer visits to McDonald's same-store locations dropped 4% in a single quarter. Every customer who stops coming because the price feels wrong is not just losing one meal at McDonald's. They're losing the habit, and habits, once broken in fast food, are extraordinarily hard to rebuild. A 15% price cut on core items at 45,300 locations is an enormous marketing campaign that costs nothing in advertising. If a price cut of 15% brings back just 10% more customer visits, the volume increase more than compensates for the margin reduction. McDonald's real estate model means the rent gets paid regardless of how many burgers are sold. Bringing traffic back protects franchisee revenue, which protects rent payments, which protects the actual business. You cut prices to protect the real estate, not to sell more burgers. Third decision, and this is the one that will make the most money. I am aggressively accelerating McDonald's real estate acquisition in emerging markets. Here is the opportunity that the current management is completely underplaying. McDonald's owns or controls the land under 55% of its locations in developed markets. The strategy works extraordinarily well. The rent collected on top of royalties makes the economics of each location dramatically superior to a pure franchise model. Now look at where McDonald's is growing. Southeast Asia, Africa, South Asia, the Middle East, Latin America. These are markets with growing middle classes, increasing urbanization, and enormous fast food demand. And right now, before property values in these cities explode, the land under the best high street locations is still acquirable at reasonable prices. In 10 years, the corner plot in a rapidly developing African or Southeast Asian city that you can buy today for $500,000 will be worth $5 million. McDonald's should be buying that land now, aggressively, in every high-growth urban market on Earth. Not to open restaurants immediately, to own the real estate that the restaurants will eventually sit on. Because once the franchise is established and the city develops around it, the land value compounds. And McDonald's collects rent forever. It is the single biggest financial opportunity that the current board is leaving on the table. Fourth decision. I am putting AI at the center of every operational decision McDonald's makes. Not as a gimmick, and certainly not as a marketing story, as an operational tool that directly reduces cost and increases consistency. Here's what AI actually does well in a McDonald's context. Demand prediction. Every restaurant in the world wastes food. McDonald's wastes food on a scale that is difficult to comprehend. AI-driven demand prediction, using local weather, events, time of day of week, and historical data, can reduce food waste by 20 to 30%. At McDonald's scale, that is hundreds of millions of dollars annually. Dynamic pricing, not raising prices on customers, but adjusting promotional offers based on real-time capacity. When a restaurant is quiet at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday, the app pushes a deal. When it's at capacity on a Friday lunch, no deal needed. This maximizes throughput and revenue without alienating customers. Quality consistency, computer vision in kitchens, cameras that monitor food preparation and flag when a burger doesn't meet visual standards before it leaves the pass. This directly attacks the inconsistency problem that is driving customers away. Consistency is the product, and AI protects consistency. Let me be honest about why my plan might fail. The franchisee problem. 95% of McDonald's restaurants are run by franchisees, and franchisees are not employees. They have contractual rights, they have franchise associations, they have lawyers. If I cut menu items that generate significant revenue for individual operators, they will push back. Hard. Some will take legal action. A menu purge at McDonald's is not a management decision. It is a negotiation with 40,000 plus independent business owners simultaneously. This is slow, expensive, and politically brutal inside the organization. The price rollback risk. If a price cut brings back traffic, great. If it doesn't, I've reduced revenue across 45,000 locations without the compensating volume. At McDonald's scale, a 15% price cut without volume recovery costs billions. That is not a recoverable mistake in a single quarter. The competition is not standing still. McDonald's appears to be losing the battle for value-conscious customers to Burger King and Domino's. Chick-fil-A is growing. Taco Bell is winning on value. Chipotle is winning on quality perception. Every month I spend fixing internal problems is a month that competitors spend taking my customers. Speed matters, and McDonald's, with 45,300 locations and decades of institutional inertia, does not move fast. So, would my plan work? Here are my honest thoughts about it. The real estate strategy? Yes, unambiguously. McDonald's sitting on prime urban real estate in every major city on Earth is the single most durable competitive advantage in the business world. I would double down on it immediately. The menu purge? Yes, but it would take 3 years and enormous political capital to execute across the franchise system. The price rollback? Probably. With the right execution and clear communication to franchisees, bringing prices down on core items restores the brand identity that made McDonald's a global institution. The AI kitchen. Yes. Not because it's exciting technology, because consistency is McDonald's most valuable product. And AI protects consistency at scale better than any human system can. Here's the bottom line. McDonald's is not a broken company. It is a company that has forgotten what it is. It is not a premium dining brand. It is not a health food destination. It is not a beverage company. It is the world's most efficient, most consistent, most ubiquitous fast food operation, sitting on the most valuable real estate portfolio in the restaurant industry. The moment it remembers that and acts accordingly, it will be unstoppable again. That is how I would run McDonald's. Not by changing what it is, by remembering what it always was. If you want to see me take over another business and tell you exactly what I do differently, subscribe. New video every week. Also, tell me which business I should save next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.